What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Ton Time. This is your host, Donnie, and today I will be unboxing this open air, open frame computer case. This is pretty much an open case. It just has a bunch of tubes where you would just mount your computer peripherals on it just for troubleshooting. And that's the reason why I got it. I troubleshoot computer parts all the time, and I wanted something to be more accessible. So I bought this. It was on Amazon for $60. So yeah, let's see what's in it. As you can see, it's a small box. It doesn't look like it's a computer case, but I think once you build it out, you'll see how it will house and attach everything onto its frame. So nothing special. It's just a brown box. It came shipped like this. So yeah, there really nothing special. I think it's just a China package. Excuse me, guys. So I'm just gonna head and open it up real fast just to see what's inside. Everything's probably requires assembly because it's probably just a bunch of pipes that needs to be assembled together. So let's go ahead and open it up. I missed a few areas here. Alright, like I said, it came shipped like this, and this is the SKU number that's on Amazon, made in China. So yep, so this is everything in here. You get this printed out manual. It's called PCJMK5 Cool 5. So it's a building block bare frame. So these are the pieces that everything comes with. So yeah, as I suspect, everything's just, it's a modular design. I think what I'll do is I could probably maybe I could scan this and attach it somehow on YouTube, but this is pretty much the manual. It'd be nice to have the manual available so you can see what you get yourself into. So yeah, so it comes in multiple configurations, and you can do water cooling on it too. But that's the manual. So let's see what is in here. So it looks like this is your bunch of stuff kit. Look at all these hardware that you'll be playing with. So this comes with, this is a box just full of just lots and lots of hardware. Allen keys, screws, standoff plates, you name it, it's in here. So definitely going to be using some of these stuff. At least it comes in a nice plastic box for you. So you got that. This looks like more standoff plates, I guess, for installing motherboard or whatnot. Some brackets, plastic feet. Got one part here, which is D3. What's in here? So, this is the acrylic plate that you can mount fans and whatnot on. At least it comes with a power switch, which is awesome. It also comes with little gloves that you could use so you don't get your hands all, or get the frames all oily, I guess. And these are the plates that came in the box for your cards. This looks like for power supply. More cards. This looks like for the power button. So that's everything in here. You got more hardware in here. I'll just leave it in a box so you guys can see. So you got hardware in the upper right corner, and then you got these frames that you will be putting together. So yeah, so that's the case broken down. Eventually, when you put it all together, I think this only fits on micro ATX motherboard, which I have. So it's going to be a small test bench, but I'll go ahead and put this case together off camera. I doubt you guys would want to see me put it together. So I'll go through the instructions, put it together right now. Just make sure that you go through the manual and make sure you got everything in there before you go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this unboxing. I'll be back to show you the end result of the case, what it looks like, and then I'll show you another video of what it looks like with all the peripherals on there. So I'll be back, and you'll see how the case looks fully assembled. Alright, before I assembled this, I just went through the kit and just double check everything. So this is everything in the box, and there's a shipping list that is on the page here. So I actually went through each one to make sure that once I build it, I'm not missing any parts. So I recommend you guys do the same thing. I went through each one. So in this particular shipment, everything was perfect, nothing was missing. I counted each item one by one, and even counted the items in that plastic case as well. So recommend you guys do the same. It would suck to put stuff together and then later on you guys, you're missing something and then you can't continue building your frame because you gotta wait for parts. So yeah, so that's everything here. First part I'm gonna work on is part 1 is assembling all these items together. So yeah. So part 1 requires these items. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. So it's going to need 2 D4s, which is here. Grabbing 2 D4s. And then 1 D1, which is this guy. And 2 D2s. Okay. And then looks like you'll be using the corner fittings, which I need, guys. And then you'll be using it here in each corner. And then you got the Q1 screw. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to move all these out of the way and then work on that part of the frame. Alright, just for visual representation, this is pretty much what you need on the first step. So these brackets are pretty much gonna, these brackets here is gonna pretty much slide into these rails, and then you're gonna bolt them down with this guy into each hole. That will hold each one down on each corner of these rails. And this is the motherboard standoff. You would slide these in first before you bolt this side together. You'll slide them here, through here, so that you could bolt the motherboard onto the rail. Depending on what size you're going for, you gotta look at the size here. There's ATX and ATX, ITX. I'm doing the ATX since I have a micro ATX motherboard. This is how the screw would be on those corner brackets that you see here. And based off of how the illustration is, I put it together in a way that it's illustrated on the illustrations on top. So I'm going to do that right now off camera. But this is pretty much everything you need for step 1. So I'm going to do it off camera, and once I put it all together, you'll see it on the next frame. Alright guys, a few things before installing. I would recommend this bag of screws here. Pre-installing them first before you slide them into these rails. And it only goes one way. If it stops like this, it's wrong. But if you flip it the other way and it slides down, this is the right way, because you need to screw this L bracket to that line. So that's one thing to keep a note of. It has to be able to slide up and down here. So if you put it in and you find yourself saying, oh no, I can't go down, just flip it. And like I said, it's good to have these screws pre-screwed in so that when you do attach it, it locks up right away instead of spending the time with this Allen key to screw it around, and sometimes it hits it, so you have hits the bar, so it takes a while to screw in. So pre-screw those in, and be sure for the standoff. This is how the manual have it, and I can see why. These are the motherboard standoff, and they want the motherboard standoff to be closest to this area here, and the standoff here, opposite, closest to this, just in case you need the extra room for the motherboard. The middle, I noticed the instruction has it like this, but I think either way works. It's just that these should be towards the edge so you can get maximum space if you have a bigger motherboard. So keep that in mind, and this slides here, this locks it down. You would screw this down and put it on a motherboard. So a couple tips before I start screwing this in. So I'll be back in a couple seconds to show you what this first phase looked like. Hey y'all, so this is what the first part looks like. I screwed the top down pretty tight, but these I wanted to leave a little bit loose because I want to measure the motherboard that I'm going to put on here first, and these are pretty much the motherboard standoff. So this is what the first phase looks like. One thing that instruction didn't note is on top of here there's these two screw holes, and I didn't know which way it needed to go. I'm guessing it would go this way because I believe there's an optional handle that you could buy, so you could put on here, and it has a little handle on top that you could carry this case around. So I'm aiming it up that way. I believe that's what it's for, because the motherboard is going to be blocking this area anyway, so I figured that those two holes needs to be up. So keep that in mind. But yeah, this is what it looks like kind of assembled. So this is still movable on my end, so I'm going to measure my motherboard and then tighten it down once I got the motherboard on here. So yeah, you guys could do the same, or or you could just measure it and tighten it down as you wish. So that was section 1. Now time to go to section 2. Okay, so now that we're done with the motherboard mount, this is pretty much going to sit like this up. We're going to work on the base now. So this is what the base will consist of. So you're going to have your brackets again, like the one that we did earlier. And these are the standoff plates, which pretty much goes under here to stand it up, but it will be that way. So this one should be pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You do the same thing. You slide these brackets in, and then you use these set screws with the sharp end to pretty much stop it down. So this will be the legs of the whole setup. So I'm going to put this together now. I'll be back in a second and you'll see what it looks like assembled. Alright, so I got the base together. I still left things a little bit loose just in case. I wanted to see how the peripherals bolt onto it before I tighten it. And like I recommended before on the first piece, it's better to get these set screwed in prior to actually putting on a rail, so it'll save you some time. So yeah, so this is pretty much the base, and this pretty much will go right on top like that. So and then you got the plastic pieces to cover all the open ends. So that's pretty much the whole case design. Of course, you'll have, so this is the next step to putting it on, and then you have these square pieces, which is these. You pretty much slide them into the frame and then bolt the card holders on, and the other side you would bolt the power cable, the power supply holder, and then the fan shroud, which some of these I won't be using. I won't be using the fan shroud for now because I don't have a fan for it. So I think right now instead of putting the case together, I'm going to start putting the components on there and tightening them as well as I go on. And I think that will be better than just to assemble everything and then put the components on. So I'm going to do that. This is pretty much everything you really need to know. I think it's a good point here to stop and actually put the components on the frame and then assembling the frame as you have the components on there. So I think that's pretty much it for the assembly of this guy. We got most of it through. The rest is depending on your setup and how you want to put your motherboard and your components onto this frame. So there you have it, guys. This is the frame semi-assembled. What I can do is I'll put a quick video at the end of this recording to see what it looks like with all the components on and how I did it, so you guys can see it. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. This is pretty easy. I mean, it has a lot of parts to it, but it really is easy to put together, so you don't have to worry about it may look intimidating at first, but after you put it together, they made it real easy to assemble. So there you have it, guys. Semi-assembled, how everything works, how this modular case works. I'll put a quick picture of what my rig looks like after it is assembled. If you guys like this video, thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button and have a safe and great day. Hey everyone, so finally got everything together on this frame. So as you can see, micro ATX motherboard, and I got this. You actually have two ways to mount your video card. I mounted it this way since it's a big ass video card, and I'm using this rig just to test my mining cards. It's just a test rig, so I decided to mount the video card horizontally this way. They come with two brackets that you could use. So there's this bracket to mount the card in this way, and there's also this bracket where you would mount the card the traditional way. So I found this to be easier for me since it's a big video card that I'm testing on. The only thing is this video card is super long, and I had to come up with a solution to prop the video card up because the kit doesn't have any thing to prop the video card this way except for this bracket that I know of. So this is everything assembled. Looks awesome, very portable, pretty sturdy. This is how the back looks with the power supply mounted behind. I also hid the power button. You could put it anywhere, but I put it in the back here to power up the system. So you got the power supply in the back. I put the power button back here, and then this is how the power supply is mounted with this bracket, and then I just need one power to it. This is the video card here, I/O ports on the motherboard, and I didn't have to mount a hard drive. You could mount a SSD or 3.5 hard drive. I'm running M2 on the motherboard, so I don't need to, so the setup is a little bit simpler. But it is there if you need it. It does come with the extra hardware if you want to do water cooling or anything else for that matter. So yeah, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is the open air case assembled in full. So hope you guys liked the video. Again, if you liked the video, the content, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And again, thank you for spending the time to watch the video and hang out here. Always appreciate it. This has been Ton Time, another Ton Time unboxing, review, and assembly. So aside from that, hope you guys have a great day and stay safe and have a happy holiday.